For over 40 years, I have collected stationery from different guest houses, motels, inns, bed and breakfast places. When I started the collection, I did not have any clear purpose. For me, it was just about the recollection of the places where I stayed and my fascination with the names of the hotels and the diverse stationery designs, the quality of paper, etc. Then one day, a very clear idea appeared in my mind that this should be an artist's book. I believe we as humans need to keep moving forwards, and my own life has been purely nomadic. My home was everywhere. I went because my home is my own body. This book should be seen as a diary filled with writings, poetry, cutouts, collages, photographs, drawings, printed in the stationery and preserved for many of my journeys. And I call it Nomadic Journey and Spiritual Places. And it's really important that actually this image I cut when I was 20 years old in Belgrade, when I was in ex-Yugoslavia. And this was just from the newspaper. And this is very old woman and very young boy, and they both have a kind of, cane. And they look like really ready for the journey. And it fascinates me. I have no idea who is the woman, I have no idea who is the boy, but this presents this book. Okay, now, so it's all different pieces here and there, and every time, of course, it's the image and the hotels. And in the beginning, I didn't have any money, so I stayed. The hotels was like -5 stars. I stayed in India in the hotel where the toilet paper was more expensive than the room. And so on and so on. Then life goes better. Now, we are doing better. So, let's see what I first wanted to read you. I was always fascinated by the secrets of the black stone. The idea is so for me to touch and kiss. The collective energy turned into one stone. So to me it was this incredible idea just in Mecca, but then later on I made a journey in Brazil, and then Australia, which I stayed 1 year with Aborigines. And then I remember one old medicine man just came to me. I said, I'd like to show you my grandfather. So we went to grandfather. Grandfather was big black stone. And he very gently, little brushed the stone and kissed the stone and talked to the stone and sing song and dance. And I realized this was not that he looked like grandfather, this was the real grandfather. And I just realized how everything in our life is so connected. So the next thing is completely different. You're making totally the journeys through my life and all disconnected things. Tito died. Tito, he was president of the country where I lived, which was Yugoslavia. Now, it's not one country. Now we are talking about 6 countries. Basically, Americans came, they made the war, they didn't find the oil, and they left us. And then we had 6 countries. So I always think that I come from there. But apart of this, the Tito film was incredibly important to me because something to do with my youth, something to do with giving back, all my memories. I knew the time would change, and by that time, everything changed. So Tito was really important. So I saw the funeral when I was in Amsterdam, 40 hours, cried completely through the whole thing, and just found in the newspaper, Tito is taught. So I put it there in my hotel journey. Then there's another little poetry here. We just left, but the energy stays on the table, on the chair, in the space, and in the viewer's memory. It's all about performance. Performance is such a material form of art. You can't touch it, you can't hang on the wall like a painting. But when you see performance really move you, and it's emotional, but also is transformative, and all what is left is a memory. So it's the most immaterial form of art, apart from music. If I make some kind of pyramid of the importance of art, I will put music always on the absolute top. because it's the most immaterial form of art. It goes straight to your heart, straight to your body. There's no object between you and the performer. Then I have something called spirit cookings. The spirit cooking, I've been completely, classified as a Satanist and being really complained about. So it's a long story. But this poetry is basically, I call spirit cooking, and it's a poetry. So I read you one. Breakfast, 9 glasses of water. Lunch, 9 glasses of water. Dinner, 9 glasses of water. That's it. Okay. Next one. With a sharp knife, cut deeply into the middle finger of your left hand. Eat the pain. So, that's one advice. Another one is with the main text. Fresh morning urine sprinkled over nightmare dreams. Very helpful. Then things that I was always interested in is another hotel, the stationery. I was always interested in levitation, in telekinesis, in SP, extrasensory powers, automatic writings, ectoplasm, telepathy, out-of-body experience, and trance. And I'm still. But it's interesting about the telepathy. It's so simple. You need only four years to learn, and it's so much better than telephone. So now this is Emirat Palace. I have no idea what I was doing in Emirates, but this is something that I found from the 27th of June, 1968. And this is a lecture that Caroline Schliemann, which is a great American artist, just died. And she done this in the lecture on the London Institute in London, 1968. So this is her lecture. Can an art historian be a naked woman? Does a woman have intellectual authority if she's naked? Can she have public authority while naked and speaking? Was the concept of lecture less appreciated when she was naked? And the last question she had, what multiple levels, uneasiness, pleasure, curiosity, erotic fascination, acceptance, or rejection were activated in the audience looking her naked? It's 1968, not bad. So here I have June 12, 1987, somewhere at Morrison Hotel, I don't know where is this, in Ireland. I watched the sky through the spider web, through the captured silk bug in the spider bag, through the eagle flying high, and then the cloud came. I'm starting to feel peace with me slowly. So that's the one, is almost poetry. Then we have so far into the void, and there resting in quietness. It was so interesting about emptiness and void, especially about non-thinking process, and this is very much to do with my work and long duration performances. So sometimes I don't write big text, I write little drawings, little text, that's it, not big story. This is something that I have only person alive. I have a brother, Marina Abramovic, and he wrote when he was only 14 his poetry, and I was so fascinated about actually depths of that poetry already at 14. He said, building an abyss under the bridge is a skill only of most skillful builders. So just the idea to talk about actually void, not the bridge itself, but the void. It's pretty strong stuff. Okay. And then I say, I would like for my work to function as a constant mirror for the user of my objects, so that they do not see me in the work, but they rather see themselves, which is a fundamental thing. This is something related to my transitory objects, which I made. They're not sculptures, they're transitory objects. When I walked the Great Wall of China with Ulay, we each walk separately, 2,500 kilometers, we met in the middle and say goodbye. And I realized that this was the first time the public was not even there. So I was thinking how I can transmit experience to the people who was not there. And then I understand that each time I work on the different materials, like amethyst, the quartz, the copper, the hematite, I will feel differently. So I start doing the objects that public can interact and feel the same kind of energy I felt. And the transitory objects are not sculptures. While you experience them, you don't need object anymore. So here is another concept from the 512 hours. I made it to work at Serpentine Gallery with absolutely nothing. I just asked public to come into empty spaces and face the wall, walk around, stand in silence, and they have to leave the telephone, the computer, and the watch in the locker. They will get the headphones, and they will just be in complete silence. They will be together, but in the silence at the same time. And it was a really very strong experience. It was 3 months like that, 8 hours a day. And I remember the little kid coming, only 12 years old, and he's just standing there with the headphones. And he said, but these headphones don't work. I said, of course it doesn't work. It's about, silencing the headphones. It's no sound. He never in his life had the headphones in his ears that nothing comes through. So he broke the entire school. So next day, all the kids were standing in silence. And it really was important to me to introduce kids, detox of technology at the time. So the concept of the piece was, from nothing, something may or may not happen. That's it. God, I'm really minimal. I'm saying it here. So with Artist is Present, I find, I think this piece everybody knows, 716 hours, 8 hours a day, motionless, and Friday 9, actually 10 hours when the museum is open longer, which was hell. But then I found this incredible, beautiful monk text that really, for me, reflects so much my state of mind at the time. An unknown monk, I don't know his name, he said, the movement in the middle of silence, the silence in the middle of the movement. At the beginning of my life, I traveled a lot. I kept making trips. I was restless. But since I have my temple, the visitors come to see me. And this is what really happened to me. Museum MoMA was temple at the time. Then I really love Nikola Tesla. I'm not talking Elon Musk, I'm talking Nikola Tesla, the real guy. So he said Nikola Tesla could meditate on three-dimensional visions of his inventions. And then I just asked myself, who are the artists? What is the art? Marlowe and Picasso, African masks are tools. You know that Marlowe went to see the Picasso and he sees so many African masks, but he never went to Africa. And he said, why have all these masks? And then Picasso said, they are just the tools to understand how my paintings can elevate my spirit. And art had to be disturbing, predicting the future. And in Dostoevsky Idiot, we talk about epilepsy and Kundalini go wrong. So that's really complicated to explain. But in Idiot, one of the characters had epilepsy attack. And to me it was fascinating how he described this epilepsy attack before it happened. He talked about incredible, luminosity. He talked about his mind becoming incredibly sharp, that he could see nature in a perfect harmony, and the body and the brain could not take it. And this caused epilepsy attack, because we are not ready for that kind of harmony. Have to go slowly. We have to learn. We have to actually, learn to get to that kind of state. Okay. So another thing is right. Taking risk means accepting failure. So important. We have to be not afraid of risk, and we have to accept that on the way maybe we fail. But if you always go for security, you never change. So you have to fail, and just fail, and then stand up and do again. And then I have completely just a letter I'm writing, very, very actually pissed, to these minerals people, because I'm working with minerals. And I said, dear Manfredo, I send you 5 faxes until now. Please, can you reply? I want to do order from you. 40 rose quartz, 15 clear quartz, 5 amethyst, 20 hematite. Please let me know. Price, please, please, please. Because you know, the Brazilians, wow, they don't work. I was working with these minerals and I have to go to the mines. And they always come too late. So I went back to New York, I went to Chinatown, and I bought 35 swatches cheap, and I brought them watches, and just to, you know, can control the time. They were so happy with the gift, and I was late anyway. There's nothing I can change. Oh, it's another great story. I was in Belém, it's also north of Brazil, and I was doing cultural center lecture, and lecture's supposed to start, you know, at 3 o'clock, and I arrived always early, 2:15, you know, to prepare. And it was only cleaning lady, nobody else, just cleaning lady. And like, you know, I see people, you know, coming 10 to my time of lecture, 10 to 3:15. Absolutely no human. I've never been in a situation that not one person came to my lecture in my life. And then started terrible tropical rain. And the cleaning lady just sit on the chair and wait till rain stopped. And me too, I could not get out. And then rain stopped about 4:20. And then I was just about to leave. And everybody came. Yeah. I was full of people. I said, what's wrong? He said, of course, everybody know you come after the rain. Yeah. And then I have my little life, like a dictionary for K, karma, for L, luminosity, for M, mind and miracle. Then we have nature and non-duality, for O, obstacle, openness, for pain and passion. For R, razor age and romanticism. For S, self-space, Scorpio, oh, it's interesting. For A, animal sacrifice, anger, aggression. For B, the body. For C, chaos, confusion, continuity. For D, doubts, dualism, deception, discovery, death. For A, emotions, emptiness, energy, experience. For F, free will. For G, goal, S, and gap. Why gap? And then for H, hope, happiness, habitant, patterns, hopelessness. And then we have ignorance, irritation, initiation. Okay. That's about it. Then we have, so something, oh, now I'm getting to good hotel, 4 seasons. So 4 seasons, so we have, hair should smell like a white flower in the field and the wind. Body should smell like a freshwater spring, and sex should smell like the sea. And then a little drawing, all my pains, so all different parts of the body. It's always pain somewhere, you know. And then this beautiful text of T.S. Eliot. He said, "Go, go, said the bird. Humankind cannot bear very much reality." That's so true. Then something there's some notes from Australia. Spirit beings mostly appear in the shape of animals. Sometimes they assume human features, but more frequently they take the form of stones which are broken and full of living blood and flesh. And ending of this whole thing is what I'm thinking about in between. In between is the space where I find myself after I leave from somewhere and before I went somewhere else. Airports, waiting rooms, bus stations, tram stations, office, shops, shopping malls, lobbies, hotel rooms, restaurants, swimming pools, gyms. In between is the space where I think, look, collecting impressions, ideas. Is the space where I mostly live, in the space where anything can happen, and open space to destiny. Thank you.